Okay, I'm live. I think it says I'm live. Well, I will trust that I'm live. I'm going to go ahead and let's see. Let's do this one and this one, and let's say bingo, bingo. All right, well, I got the timers going, and there we go. And I don't know, is anybody there? Am I all alone? Is this going to be the first time I have a live stream with nobody here? Oh, there's people here. Hey, Rob. Cool. Hey, Saya, how's it going, man? Well, it's Saturday night. What do you think's up? Yes, of course there will be finger tracing. You know, I was thinking I might also do, I've done this before, but I don't do it often. I might do the, if I can manage to do it without, oh, stop. No, I don't want you to do that. Stop, 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 stop. Just go back. See, I'm fearful of trying that. I was going to do the thing where I, like, trace my own hand, you know what I mean? But it doesn't, if I can do it without, see, it does that thing. Don't do that. So maybe I won't do that. How can I do that without that thing kicking in? I don't know. Is it up to over 37,000? Oh, you know, I think Ben sent me a message about that. I just forgot about it. Yeah, I guess that's cool, huh? Yikes. Wasn't that long ago that I just broke 30, huh? So that's pretty good. Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad you stopped by, Nasal Penny. Well, you know, if you get bored at that one, you know, you can always come back here. That's fine. You know how long I'll be here. But anyway, thanks for coming by. Anyways, I don't know. I got to figure out how to make that thing work, because I like the idea of doing the finger tracing, actually with the tool on my finger. You know what I mean? I don't know. I haven't figured out how to solve that yet, but what is that? What is that from? Children of the Night. I know that. It's tickling a little thing in the back of my memory, but I don't know what it is. Thanks, Saya. Hey, Javon, how's it going? Hey, there we go. Thanks, man. Oh, you want Octoal? Oh, you know, I could play Octoal practice because I did the dailies. Yeah, you know, I was going to do some gameplay. You know, I think I will start with gameplay. I was going to play Mastermind, but here, give me a quick sec, and I will set it up so I can do it with Octoal. So bear with me for a few minutes while I do a thing. Let me get rid of that over there. Yikes, it's going to get bright here for a minute. Oh, Bram Stoker, okay. I don't do GTA, man. I don't. Not that I have anything against it, I just don't play it. All right, so I need to go get this. Let's get a new one of these. Let's move this over here. Let's do this for there. So let me go back to this one real quick and do this to there. But now let me go back to this one pretty quick. There we go. And so now I think if I do, Rob's laughing at his own joke. All right, so give me a quick sec, and I will switch this to, will it work? There we go. Here we are, yippee-yay, okay. Oh, you know, I don't have the clicky-clacky keyboard set up, so we're going to have to just stick with the old-fashioned one. And, you know, here I need to, what's going on here? I want it to be this one. I want to shrink me a little bit. Let me move myself over here, there, like that. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. So I need to do practice. Let's do of the regular game. And let's go to a new game. Am I big? All right, yeah. I'm out of the way until, at least until, you know, we solve the puzzle with that. You guys don't need to see it because you already seen me solve it. Fractal pattern generator. You know, I might be able to figure something out with that. Well, let me play some Octoal first, and then, you know, you guys gotta, I I can't do everybody's request at once, man. So I'm going to do some Octoal for a few minutes. And am I caught up with the? Okay, I think I'm caught up with the. You know what I'm going to do? I need to do this with my head because my camera's right in my way for playing Octoal. It's covering up the farthest left thing. Anyway, that's fine. I'll figure it out. So I'm going to do what? What's going on here? Oh, I'm in the wrong window. That's why. So grand, pious, lefty. See, I got to have my 3 words be funny. Play 2 at once. Yikes. Man, I don't know. You're asking too much, Rob. Oh man, so what do I got here? So or even 3 at once. Okay, I think the farthest left one's going to be spicy. Nope. Spiky, maybe? See, this is so weird because I'm so not used to this group of words. So I'm going to say scant, I guess. There we go. There's one. Crypt. I don't know if I like this group here. CRA. Cramp, probably. How do I feel about fried chicken and mashed potatoes? I like fried chicken and mashed potatoes. Are you kidding me? Man, yeah. Fried chicken and mashed potatoes. Yikes. I love that stuff, man. I'm going to say that's probably crick, isn't it? Excuse me. Spiky. That's what it was. Okay. And what is that one going to be? Hinky? Jinky? Binky? I don't know. Oh, that one's going to be photo, isn't it? And madam. All right, so now the only mystery is this one here. What is it? Kinky? What do you know? All right. Okay, here we go. What do you have? Oh, no, it is coordinates. It's, well, here, I'll just show you. All right, it's not dark mode, so everybody cover your eyes. All right, it's a National Weather Service thing for the area I live in. Yeah, I don't know why. It just seemed like that. I don't know. It amused me to use that as the thing for the bookmark. And I don't really have it in a category or, a folder or anything just because, I don't know. That's just the way I have it organized for the moment. I'm going to go back to Cushy Joint Freak. I think Grand Pious Lefty sounds amusing and I like it, but maybe I'll do that again after this one. Oh man, well, I'm jealous, Javon. Did you make it from scratch or was it like a frozen dinner or something? Please tell me you made it from scratch. Sorry, Rob. Let's go ahead and put in plum. Say that's probably lobby. What do you think? Yeah. It's probably bongo, maybe. Fuzzy. Humid. Gross. Stuff. Break. And troll, probably. What do you know? Wait, what was I saying? Yeah, man, that's good, man. I'm so glad you made it yourself, man, but yeah. I almost never spend the time on stuff like that, which is kind of sad, isn't it? It's like, indulge yourself, man. Make the stuff once in a while. Anyway, let's do it. Okay, what is Rob saying? I got the kitty cat right on. Okay, let's see. Let me do grand, pious, lefty. Syrup probably is that one. Is that going to be rugby? R-U-G-B-Y. That one's probably demure. I don't see what that one is. I'm going to have to... 14 cats or 26 playing cards of my choosing. I'd rather have the cards because the cats would mean I don't know, that'd be too much work for me. I think that one is lapse. What's that one going to be with the... Flung, maybe? No, there's no G. Flunk. It could be flunk, couldn't it? Yeah, there we go. All right, well, I got 5 to get 3, so I'm going to use... Now I've already got those, I'll take up. So what do I have here? I'm going to say this. See, what does that get me? Nothing. No, it does. That gets me watch there. Okay, cool. I've got 3 to get 2. What is that going to be? A fix. How about that? And oh, thanks, Rich. Belly? Is it that simple? Yeah, I guess it is. All right. Oh, and just a reminder, I'm sure many of you will already know, but I might as well just go ahead and say it. This Monday is Mind Test Monday. So there you go. And what does this get us? I'm glad you liked the brushing one. The week's been pretty good. I've been busy with, I spent a fair amount of time doing battle with various grasses and weeds and clovers and things that I don't want in the garden. Trying to pull them out. But yeah, it's been a good week. Pretty busy. What is that? I'm going to put in plum. Oh, pouty. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. And moose, maybe? What's that one going to be? Coven, isn't it? And Amity? Amityville Horror. I never saw that movie, and nor did I read the book, although it was a huge, huge thing back in the day. And what is that? Speed, maybe? Nope. Sweet, probably. Yep, there we go. And what's this last one? Mini? Okay, I'll play one more of these, and then I don't know, what are we... Oh, how are we doing on the timer thing? Okay, we still got some time, so... Does anybody else have any amazing news that's, something we don't normally hear about? That one's probably inlay, isn't it? Hey, William. Well, I'm glad you made it. Thanks for coming by. You know, I will. I want to wait until I feel like it looks more attractive, because right now they're all pretty scruffy and small, and there's a lot about it that I'm not. Yeah, I want to wait until I think it's pretty. But yeah, there will be gardening videos. So is that draft or graft? You know, let's put in waged and see what we get. So it's going to be graft. What is that there now? Tiny? That's going to be enter, isn't it? And input probably. Nope. A drawing table. Nice. Oh no. Well, sorry about that, Daily. I didn't mean to, get you in trouble, man. What am I doing here? Teddy, maybe? What's that one there? Oh, prowl, isn't it? There we are. Inlay. Plain. And what's this last one? Unlit. There we are. It wasn't very ASMR of you. What's that going to be? Topic, toxic. So what is it? All right, let's. All right, I'm going to put in plum topic and cumin and again demure again. Wow, they're reusing words. Oh, they do, don't they? Pizza, probably. Right. And oh, there's the P. I didn't see it there. All right, there we are. Oh, we're getting inside of 20 minutes so the first break is coming up pretty soon. See, I don't know, Rob. I used to be, well, when I was younger, man, I was like, there were times I would stay up from Friday night until probably Sunday evening, you know what I mean? And then try to go to bed like at 8 or 9 on Sunday evening to, make sure I had enough sleep to be able to get up on Monday morning to go to work, Hey, James. Yeah, nice to see you too. And what do I have here now? Birth, mirth. Well, let's put in plum. So it's not birth or mirth. What is it going to be? Girth, probably, huh? Is there any dearth? Is that how you spell dearth? All right, that one is pause, isn't it? Yeah. One's going to be happy, ain't it? Yep, there we go. Oh, that's going to be right. And anger. And I don't know what that one at the end is. Oh, depot. Or depot, depending on how you want to pronounce it. Oh, wait, I got another. Wow. Well, I mean, I guess you're going to have to readjust that, aren't you, man? But getting that, yeah, man. Well, I remember as a younger human staying up late, yeah. Nowadays, I usually go to bed. Well, this is, you know, when I stay up, Saturday nights is the only time I really stay up late anymore. And it's, you know, because of this. And then, of course, I stay up a little while afterwards just because I'm usually a little wound up. You know what I mean? Not really, because I'm like, ooh, good stream. And I mean, it kind of gets my blood going, so I got to chill out for a few minutes afterwards. Well, at least you get something to do between now and December, right? So, is that going to be Gray's Grave? What's that going to be? How many do I have? I have 3 to get 4. That's even earlier than me, man. I usually only get up at 6, so it's not too bad, I guess. Although once upon a time, man, if somebody said you get up at 6, I'd be like, what? That's horrible. What is that one going to be? Oh, is it through? That's what it is, isn't it? Heebie-jeebie, all right. And then that's going to be newly. See, I needed that W. And then it's going to be grave or grays, isn't it? So let's try grave. What do you know? Gaming, gaming, gaming. Oops, the thing went off. Yikes, okay. It's time for a break time, gang. I will be back. Okay, I'm back. And okay, so just as a reminder, the next break will be an ad break for those of you who get stuck watching ads from YouTube. Just to give you a warning, I'll try to remember to give you more of a heads up so you can turn down your volume or whatever it is you need to do to keep them from blowing your mind out of your freaking head, man. All right, let me do this cushy joint. Oh, that one's going to be young, isn't it? Oops, I'm in the wrong window again, dude. Get over here. All right, now let's put in a freak. And angst. What's that one going to be? Oh, agent, that's fun. And yeah, 11 to 7, that's a pretty decent night's sleep. Hey, you're all right, Rotting Fawn. Welcome. Glad you could make it. Yeah, I'm usually sometime I'm in bed between 10 and 11, and I get up at, well, my alarm is set for 6, but a lot of times most of the time I get up before the alarm. I'm glad you liked it, Rotting Fawn. Thanks for the compliment. Thanks, James. Nasty, huh? And sweet, probably. All right, let's put in plum. So frame, perch, and what's that going to be? Oh, builds, right? What do you know? Okay, you know what? Given that, excuse me. Hope I'm not catching some. Have you ever seen me and your mom in the same room at the same time, Rob? Maybe we're the same person. All right, let me get out of into here. And yeah, let's do, what am I going to do for the first set of triggers? You know, I'm going to do, because I have a couple of different things to try, because all my mason jars are in use for, you know, the things I bought them for. So I've been finding other jars to make use of the chopstick. God, I couldn't think of this freaking word. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I don't know if I like that one as well. It seems to change as I hold it differently, huh? I guess that makes sense. Let's get the other one. I like that one as well. I might come back to it. Hey Mason, how's it going? My fave trigger of all time is a female voice. I'm sorry you're feeling poorly, Mason. Let's try you here for a little bit. Sleepy Keys doesn't ring a bell. I'll try to remember to check her out. You know, I've often toyed with the idea of doing reaction videos of other ASMR artists. You know, that QVC thing, I have thought about trying to do, not necessarily QVC, but because sometimes that stuff actually, I mean, I have watched QVC a couple of times and actually been kind of really zoned out by it, depending on what it is. Especially if they have something where it's like, oh, come on, stop, you stinking camera. Stop. Thank you. Are you done? Man, I'm going to have to figure out some way of dealing with the settings on that thing. I don't know. I'll figure it out someday. Tupperware party lady. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think that's an interesting idea. I don't know. We'll see if I ever get around to doing it, Siobhan. But yeah, I don't know. It's a thing that kind of comes into my mind now and again. What else do I want to do? I have the crinkle bag. Hey, Chris, thanks so much. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Chris, and thank you very much for your generosity. Oh no, what am I going to do? I don't have a mason jar. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, I got to figure something out here real quick. Well, here, let me see if this one will work. Oh, no. Anyway, we know what we need to do. My camera wants me to get windows. It's not going to happen, man. It's not going to happen. Is it a little out of focus? Yeah. Sorry about that. I don't know. It's supposed to be automatically happening. Anyway, here we go. Thanks, Chris. I really do appreciate the generosity, and everybody else. Here we go. 3 cheers for Chris, please. Hip, hip, hooray. Hip, hip, hooray. Hip, hip, hooray. And the crowd goes, oh. So did the little jar work okay for the crowd noise? I don't know if it's as good as the mason jar. I'm gonna have to buy more mason jars, man. I'm gonna figure that out. I don't know. Or I don't know, maybe I'll just try to find a jelly jar or something next time I empty one and clean it out and use that for this. I don't know. Jokes are all you need. Okay, well, you know what I'm going to do? Well, I do have brushes. Is everybody brushed out, or should I do brushes later? I think initially what I'm going to do right now, though, is I know how much Saya is waiting for the finger tracing, so, you know, I will indulge that for a little while here. See if I can do it without triggering the camera into its wackiness. Yeah? Okay, so here we go. Let's see. I will start straight off with let's do the numbers first. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and that's all the digits. Now I will do the alphabet. I got comments here real quick. Wow, that's funny that they line up that way, writing fun. That's cool. Wait, you've never actually heard the trigger properly? I'm not sure I follow. Oh, this one is just purely visual, if that's what you're talking about. Yeah, I mean, I guess I could try to do something with it. Yeah, no, this one is just it's a visual thing, but it's a niche thing, isn't it? Anyway, I was about to do the letters, right? I don't know, maybe if I hold it close enough, because there is a bit of a friction noise, but probably not picked up, probably not have to be picked up by the mic. And let me start over. So A, B, C, D, E, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z, or Z if you prefer. And see if I have all the... Okay, hang on. You're welcome, Javon. Oh, you know, I'm mostly an audio guy too, but there's a few people who like the visual thing, so, you know, I try to, yeah, you know, I try to do what I can. 17 hours of the slab tracing. Wow, that's a little long, but, you know, I might do some, maybe I should do a tracing video like that, yeah, with this thing. 67, I don't get it. Oh, no, it's not. It's, well, it's cool to the touch, you know, but it's not cold. 67 memes? Okay, I guess I just don't get it. Yeah, I will get to that. You know, I'll do that in the next segment. How about that? Because I just thought of a thing I want to try. Because we were talking about this being visual. Oh, and did somebody ask what the slab was? Did I see that? Or am I just imagining that? Anyway, it's labradorite, I think somebody said in one of the other streams. Yeah, okay, it's just a meme thing. That's cool. Okay, so I'm going to try this thing here, my probe. This is from an electronics, well, it's when I used to do electronics. I don't really do anything. I've got a soldering iron somewhere, but I never really use it, so anyway. So my thinking is, let's try this. How's that for, I don't know. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9. How's that? Is that a good noise? Okay. Yeah, this is, you can kind of get it to almost ring. Maybe if I could hold it differently, so my fear is that I'm keeping it from being able to resonate properly. So I know I've banged on it a couple of times by accident, and it actually makes this almost glassy sound. There you go. That's probably too loud, huh? Anyways, let's do this one. A, B, C, D, E, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V. This is funny. Let's see, W now, right? X, Y, and Z, or Z. You know, it's very weird because this one I rub my finger on it, mostly just feels smooth. There's a couple of spots where you can feel there's a little bit of a not smoothness, but with this, I think it's because of the way the minerals are. It actually catches up on something that interesting. Anyway, so how is that for? So Saya, how is it using this tool as opposed to my finger? For those of you who like the finger tracing, is the tool tracing, you know, a cool thing to go along with that, or should I just keep them conceptually separate? All right. Okay, we're coming up on the next ad here, or the next break, which will be an ad break. So as soon as you see me do the be right back image thing, I will click a button here for the YouTube thing. Then they will dish out ads to some of you. So if you need to mute, do the mute, you know. And I guess they do the they try to match it up for the, you know, the replays as well. So in any case, I will be right back. To here. All right, so give me a minute and I will get things situated so I can do a thing with fractals. I got to figure out which one I want to use first, because I got a couple of different things. All right, see, I guess there's some comments I need to catch up on. Interesting. Okay, hair brushing. Ah, you're facing an ad. Okay, so maybe I will, when I do the finger tracing, I'll try to remember. Maybe I'll throw in using the tool occasionally too. Okay, so let me figure out which thing I'm going to use to fiddle with fractals. Now, just to give you guys to set your expectations properly. Well, first of all, this is not in dark mode, so you guys are going to want to bear that in mind. It's not going to be, you know, in that regard, cool. Let me move things around. I need to get this over here, and let's put this over here so I can still keep access to the YouTube back end. Let's make this big. And let me now go to, I'm going to go to the gaming thing here, but I actually want to switch this from, there we go, this, turn this is where it is, there it is, Fractive. There you go, okay. There we go. I guess that's what that's doing. You know, I'm going to Yeah, I guess I'll just leave it like that for the most part. That'll be fine. Maybe I'll turn myself off so you guys don't need to see me. All right, so yeah, so this is the Mandelbrot set, right? And you can see how I can zoom in and the like. So, right, anyway, and then let's see, I can do, let me pick a good spot. There you go. See, now that's a Julia set. And now let me go back to, navigate back, I guess. So, I don't know if you guys, all right, so you can see where the little pointer is for the cursor or the mouse or whatever. So the main thing we're looking at here, I think most of you will probably recognize, is a thing that's called the Mandelbrot set. And it's because a guy, I can't remember his first name, he's this French dude, I think he's a French dude. Maybe he's German, I can't remember. Does it do burning shit? You know, hang on a second. It does, oh man, you have to fiddle with, oh man, how is it I'm going to get these? Because I don't remember which things you do to get which things you want. So, fractal type, let me see if this is where I need to go. So let's see if I do that. If I do this. Okay, so here's one. Like, is this the one you're kind of after? Right, it'll let me do all kinds of various. I will just go back to the normal one here for a minute. Just so it's gonna. I don't really know him by any other names. I'm just okay, yeah, thanks, man. But anyway, so he's the one that first came up with this nonsense by the recursive thing in the complex plane, and it gets you this nice shape. But the Mandelbrot set, well, some people will say that it's also, well, I won't get into it. So every point on the Mandelbrot set has a corresponding Julia set. And so when I'll double click on any one of these points, I get, you know, a different Julia set. So let's just pick one out here. Right, so that one goes with that. Right, if I pick a different point somewhere, well, if you pick one in here, right, you see it's pretty boring, isn't it? So it's like, so there you go, that's another one. Those are all pretty. Let's do some zooming in. I always forget which direction is a good zoom in. So let's go like this, and then let's pick here. See, now that's a corresponding Julia set to the spot I just clicked. All right, so they're pretty interesting objects. To be honest, I don't really fiddle with all the cool math stuff that's over here because I'm a lazy guy. I just sort of, you know, use it as a GUI interface type thing. But it is, you know, you could do some pretty cool things. When I'm making stuff for like the images, I usually just pick a thing that I like, and then I go into the color settings thing. I don't know, will this show, if I try to edit this, will it show you guys the thing now? See, it won't pop up the thing. It's really frustrating. All the little pop-up windows don't show up in the OBS thing for you guys to see. Well, anyway, I might as well just fiddle with it anyway, just to, so you can see, you know, after I do it. Okay, I'll just say okay, right? So I can change the colors, right? Which is the thing I kind of fiddle with quite a bit, to be honest. And we want this to be like that. Here we go. Let's see what that does. So we can zoom in. Now this one doesn't zoom terribly smoothly, but there's another one that I do use for this stat as well. The burning ship zoom into the western point. Are you talking about the western point of the Mandelbrot set? Is that what you're... here, let me go back to... And let me just go back to here. So are you talking about going out here and zooming in? Oops, Well, I'm glad you like listening to me talk about things, but, you know, in this case, I mean, my knowledge of fractal stuff is really pretty superficial, to be honest. I mean, we did talk about it when I took a course in the complex plane. And you can see there's another bit of the thing that looks like another Mandelbrot set in there, doesn't it? Oh my God, how did that get there? I mean, that's kind of the cool thing. Well, they're not perfectly self-replicating, you know what I mean? There's always something, man. So I'm not sure how to get you the burning ship thing, to be honest. So what is it? Let's go into here if I can. Let's go all the way out here then. Come on, now you're supposed to bring that over for me. And now we're getting another Mandelbrot guy in there. Yeah, actually I have Mandelbulb. I have a newer, okay, well, let me back up. So if you go look at a video called Box of Box, there's a thing in it that I made a 3D animation using Mandelbulb. Actually, I don't remember if it was Mandelbulb or Mandelbulber. They're two different things, actually. I don't remember which one I preferred as far as the interface and functionality. And I have whichever one it is on here. I just haven't started playing with it yet. Mostly because it takes a lot of time, both in setting it up and then, you know, giving it its coordinates and things to do the things to set up the animation. But then okay, so let's see. Oh man, I don't remember. It was years ago I made that video. So this machine will probably be better than my old machine just because it's a better computer. But for it to render all of the images to make the animation, I had to leave my computer run for like, I don't know, 30-something hours. It was crazy. Because then you have to take all of those images and then, of course, you have to port them into a thing that'll make it a movie. Because I don't know, it might be different now. Like I said, I haven't played with it yet. I just sort of installed it and then kind of forgot about it. Yeah. Anyway, you know, here, let's do this, and I can. Here, let's see then. Oh, no, that won't work, will it? Okay, never mind. That was crazy. Anyway, what time we're getting to? It's like that. What else would I show you here? That's. Yeah, I don't know. That's probably more or less it. I just sort of do goofy things, right? So this is now the Julia set for, or a Julia set for that particular zoom in. I like that, man. It looks like some sort of single cell life form or something, doesn't it? What do you mean, how do I feel about the ship of Theseus? Which one is the ship of Theseus? Is that the idea the ship changes and then, you know, or am I thinking of something else? You know, like if you keep changing all these parts as you go around the world, and at one point, you know, what do you call the thing? I don't remember, so I'm not sure what you're talking about, to be honest. Anyway, so I'm gonna. Well, if everybody's okay with that being. Okay, that's all the parts, right? I don't know, what do you mean, what to think about it? I mean, it's sort of a interesting thing for us to think about how we think about things, right? I mean, yeah, right. I mean, there's the thing. Is there anything in the universe that is actually a static thing? No, everything's a process. You know what I mean? Well, you know, if you need to sleep, man, then go to sleep. Okay, yeah, that's the ship I was thinking it was, right, yeah. You know, I don't know, because see, here's the thing, man, all of this stuff is just humans talking about the stuff, right? You know what I mean? So, like, I don't think, you know, I don't know. I think it's a thing that points well to the idea that stuff isn't static. I mean, even granite, right? I mean, it's moving. It's just really, really slow. Do I like comic books? Yeah, I guess I do. I haven't, I mean, well, I guess I should say I did. You know what I'm going to do since I'm not really doing this thing anymore? Let's go back to here. And I'm going to go ahead. Actually, let me go back to there really quick. And I'm going to go switch this back to, where did it go? Oh, there we go. I'll do that because I will go play some Mastermind later, but because I got too many windows open. It's making me get confused. All right, so let me get this back over here. And yeah, when I was a kid, I really liked comic books. I collected Marvel comic books, and mostly Spider-Man. Spider-Man was my favorite. I had, you know, various others too, just for fun. I also like Ghost Rider a lot, and of course, you know, the basics. You know, Thor, Hulk, Iron Man. Yeah, I quite enjoy them. As I've gotten older, I mean, I don't really read them or look at them, but, you know, they kind of still have a nostalgic tug at the heart. I mean, okay, it would be interesting to see if you do decide to, Javon, if you're up for, you know, letting other people see it. Do I have anything on my bucket list? Not really. I mean, I get the idea of it. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's things that I'd like to do, but I don't know if I would consider it a bucket list. You know what I mean? Like, I'd love to go see the Taj Mahal, but I don't think that my life would be less than if I didn't. You know what I mean? It would be a thing to enjoy doing, but, you know, I don't know. Yeah, I don't tend to get all that caught up in that kind of thing all that often, to be honest. So Emma, well, let me just think of things that I would really like to do, and we'll just make up a bucket list. I'd like to go to the Taj Mahal. I'd also like to go see the Alhambra in Spain. I'd like to see the Forbidden City or whatever in China. Places like that, you know, I think would be really interesting. I mean, basically, I'd just like to do more traveling, I suppose, is really what it comes down to. I'd like to go see all the, oh, I can't think of that. Is it Angkor Wat? That's the temple complex down in Cambodia. So I guess that's really what it is. I'd like to just go see unusual places and stuff. Oh, and there are these things in, I think it's in the China Sea. I think they're called hongs or something like that. They're these weird islands that where the inside of the, like the middle of them are kind of hollowed out. And you can, you know, I don't even really know how to describe them. They're very interesting. Yeah, I don't know. So I just think I'd just like to go see stuff, you know, if I had the opportunity. And of course, I'd like to just go see people. I mean, I suppose, yeah, I guess there is, okay, here's the thing that would be on my bucket list. I need to get back to Europe just because I have friends over there, and it would be good to go be physically in their presence as opposed to just, you know, using computers to communicate with them long distance, especially in the United Kingdom. Yeah, well, and also, yeah, I guess just Europe in general, the United Kingdom in particular, but the Civ 6 wonders. I'm not sure what Civ 6 is. Is that, I don't know the reference to that. You give one piece of advice to anyone that would be sorry for the question. No, it's fine. You could ask, did it close in 2016? Well, that sucks. It wouldn't surprise me. I know it has issues. Oh, well, so there's one thing I can't take off the list. What advice would I give somebody? You know, I'm not sure. I suppose the thing would be learn to not let other people steal power from you. You know what I mean? And I don't necessarily mean like, you know, in some magical sense. I just mean in the sense of like when people try to run your life for you by, you know, bullying you or, you know, crapping on you or, you know, these types of things. You know, a lot of that stuff, especially when it comes down to bullying and stuff, man, a lot of that stuff is we let them get away with it, don't we? You know what I mean? So try not to let people screw you that way, you know? I guess. Stonehenge. You know, I haven't been to Stonehenge. I've been to the UK, but I haven't been to Stonehenge. I've been to Avesbury, which was profoundly cool. I went with my friend Steve, and we went there, and then we went to what I think is called Silbury Hill, which is pretty close. It was a very, very kind of magical day. It was really, really cool. Yeah. Oh, there's Christopher. Hi, Christopher. Oh, I'm glad you could make it. Oh, interesting. I'll have to look into that Civ 6 thing. Oh, I have to. Okay, we're getting close to this ad break. Excuse me, this break won't be an ad break, but it's coming up in about a minute and 15 seconds. Let's see. Anyway, so have I ever read any Ken Weiler I don't know that name, so I'm not sure what do you mean. What do you mean by integral theory? Oh, no. No, I don't mean the Taj Mahal in Atlantic City. You got me there, MSC. You absolutely got me. Hey, the Mass Fat Kid. Well, I'm glad that you like my stuff. Thank you. Man, MSC, I don't know, sometimes you just get me. I don't know. I mean, yeah, not just that you understand me, but that you zing me a lot, I have to say. Well, I hope you get a good rest too, Rotting Fawn. Nighty night. How do I feel about the Bible or religion? Well, that's a big question. About the Bible, I mean, it's how do I feel? I guess the first thing I have to say is I am an atheist, but I'm a religious atheist, because I don't think that to try to understand yourself and your place in the universe does not require that there is some kind of deity in existence. I've been, for most of my life, pretty curious about religion and, you know, what the whole thing is about. I don't know that I should claim that I'm well read, just because there's a lot of things that I haven't read, but I've read a fair amount in various religions, in particular like Taoism and Hinduism and stuff like that. I've listened to who knows how many Alan Watts lectures. I even took a course in college on Religions of Man, I think is what the course was called. And yeah, somewhere I even have the text for that. I think it's Houston Smith's book. I think it's probably just called World's Religions or Religions of Man or something like that. Well, I mean, that's essentially like a survey course kind of thing, right? We just kind of cover the ideas of things. There's a lot of things about Christianity I find powerful, especially the notion of agape, which is, you know, unconditional compassion and care for your love for your fellow humans, right? I think that's super important. I think there's a huge kind of parallel that occurs with that inside of, in particular, Buddhism. And I've brought this up here in the live stream before, but there's a book, I'll say this and then I'll go do the break. There's a book that I would recommend to anybody. It's by Thich Nhat Hanh, who's a Vietnamese Buddhist monk who's passed away just a few years ago. That's called Living Buddha, Living Christ. And that's a really, really good read. Anyway, let me go take my break and go, you know, stretch out my spine for a second, and I will be right back. Okay, so I'm back. Let me see. I'm going to catch up on the you aim to zing right on. I'm not going to bring back the vape noises for two reasons. One, I don't use nicotine anymore, so there's that. I have thought about doing it using cannabis vaping. I've decided against it for two reasons. One, it doesn't really make a noise as good as the nicotine vape thing did. And I've seen a couple of things where people are talking about YouTube and their idea about their community policy, whatever the thing, community standards or whatever, and that people have lost their channels by, doing things like smoking weed on camera or whatever, which I find really interesting because like Doug Benson had, and he still does have videos up. I mean, he hasn't really put a new one out in a long time, but there are still videos up from a few years ago with him, doing dabs, you know what I mean? And it's like, yikes. So some people get away with things and some people don't, which bothers me about YouTube. So I'm just not even going to bother with anything like that, just because I don't want to risk having YouTube come down on me. I've even been thinking about on those other ones that pre-exist with the vaping noises of making them, with an age restriction on it, just to, keep YouTube from saying, hey, you're, glamorizing, a thing for kids. And it's like, no, I don't want to do that at all. I think adults should be able to do whatever they want. I think adults should be able to, shoot heroin legally. You know what I mean? I absolutely think that drugs should be legal, period. And if people have a problem with them, it should be treated like a medical problem, which is what it truly is. That's, anyway, there's my opinion on that. However, I also think that that's about adults and people who are able to make mature decisions for themselves. I don't think kids should be messing with any of that nonsense. I mean, I did a lot of really irresponsible things as a kid, and looking back on it, I really had no business doing it. But, the world is what the world is. But anyway, so I don't want to delve into the realm of, running afoul of what YouTube expects and wants. So, because, they don't really charge me to have this platform, right? I get to make money here. So, and yeah, I try to keep that in check too, because as much as money is groovy, I think, I'd like to focus on what, being a decent human being and trying to make good ASMR, right? And eventually getting my music channel going and the like, right? So anyway, sorry if that disappoints you, man, but yeah, that's kind of the way it is. Right on. Oh, thinking of the religion thing, another thing that I really, really enjoy a lot is there's two channels, Religion for Breakfast and I think it's Esoterica. Those are both really, really good channels. And there's this other guy who I just started watching a little bit here and there recently, and he's a Mormon guy who's also a biblical and religious scholar. And so I tend to approach things, the reading that I've done and the investigating I've done has been from a scholarly standpoint. I'm an atheist, but my real big complaint with religion isn't religion in the sense of like people trying to understand the world and try to describe it in a way that makes sense to them. But when those religions sort of cultivate, and there's these really oppressive power structures that emerge out of them, I just think in terms of what we tend to call the darker Middle Ages or whatever, and like the Crusades and all that. I mean, there's people who are professing to follow a god that is promoting love, and then they go to another country and kill people over it, and that's just like, what are you doing? That kind of stuff really, really angers me. But yeah, so there's my big criticism about religion is when it turns into a power structure that is screwing with people. That bothers me. But that's because, if you've seen my other channel, the W.C. Postman channel, I call myself the atheist anarchist advocating agape. So I'm also I am an anarchist. Not that I want chaos, but I want no oppressive power relationships, right? No kings. If monarchy is one king, then anarchy is without one, right? If that makes sense. Well, squishy, plushy bear, then, dig what you dig. Hey, Dragon War. Thanks for coming by. Okay, I think I got all worked up rattling about that religious nonsense. I think it's time to kind of dial it back and be a little bit more relaxed. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into playing a little bit of Mastermind, because I enjoy doing that. And, you know, maybe I'll go back to Octoal again later too, but let me move this out of the way. And there we go. Oh, you know what I need to do? Let me turn me back on. There we are. Hey, Bill. And let's go here. And there we are. Okay, everything looks like it's functioning properly. Okay, so let's just test to see if red is in the puzzle. It is not. Let's test to see if blue is in the puzzle. It is. Let's test to see if yellow is in. Yes, it is. Okay, so we know that the yellow has to go there. Let's just move blue one. And let's check this. Well, we know that the yellow is where the yellow is because of the previous line, and now similarly, because this is sort of like just a mini version of that line, we know that green has to go where the blue is. And let's just move blue over one more. And we'll throw in pink. Well, blue now only has one place else to go. We know that pink is not in it, so let's put in yellow. Let's put in green. Now we know blue has to go there. It's the only place left for it. So now it's just one of these three colors filling in that one spot. What do you know? And oh, right, yeah. Hey, Dylan, how's it going, man? Good to see you. Yeah, you know, I am thinking about doing a show and tell specifically about, well, a couple of different ones. And let me see, I don't think it's in my schedule yet. Let me just look at that real quick. So it's not in the schedule yet. Although, you know, maybe I could do that then. You know, I'm going to, in real time, I'm going to alter the schedule now. And I'm going to take this one out because I wasn't really sure what I was going to do in it. So let me do a show and tell there. So I have a couple of different ideas. One has to do with some like weird knickknacks and things like that that I have had that were my grandmother's and stuff like that. It's all just sort of sentimental nonsense. So it might be that, or it might be due to, or it might be down to the stuff that I use for my morning warm beverage ritual. I think it probably will be that one more likely. So it'll be, you know, cups and things I use, and I won't go into too much detail just because, you know, I want it to be something of a surprise. But yeah, there will be one, and yeah, anyway, so let me tell you the day. That will be, according to my schedule now, it'll be the 26th of this month. So a little bit less than 2 weeks from now. So there we go. So show and tell in the future, soon. How you doing, Dylan? Any things happening with your notion about your podcasting and various other ventures or whatnot that you've been trying to get going and interact with people on? Right on. Okay, let's stick in the blue. All right, so red is not there. Hey, no green either, so, well, at least we know where red is, right? Is pink in it? Yes, pink is in it. Let's just stick it there for now. Let's test if white is in it. White is in it, and I guess pretty luckily, pink's location right off the bat. So now is this black or purple, and is this in the right spot even? Nope. White goes here, so we know purple's going to go there. Red goes there, and pink goes there, and Voila. There we go. Yeah, that kind of is the thing, isn't it? I mean, as humans, we're curious about each other. Right? Well, I mean, I use the word nosy a lot of times. I'll even cop to it. Like when I'm asking people questions, like, I'm being a little bit nosy because it's just my nature to be. But I think that's common for humans. And I think part of it is to do with, well, I think it's down to the fact that we're primates and everything has to do with social relationships, right? I mean, it is our survival strategy. Okay, again, we're getting this nice repeat of this pattern that allows us to deduce things on the move, huh? What do you know? That was a quick one, wasn't it? Hey, Kate Manda. Thanks for coming by. It's good to see you. Oh, right. Yeah. Well, it's, yeah. Okay, so let's check this out, what Dylan's saying. Right, I'm glad you're making progress with that, Dylan. Keep me posted, man. And when you get something that you want the rest of the world to see, let me know. I will happily, put the link up on my Facebook or whatever, Hey, Signal, how's it going, man? So we get here, now red. How about blue? And there is a blue. How about yellow? Well, there's no yellow and blue's not in the right spot yet. So how about green? Green's in and I guessed on the blue good, so let's keep the green there. Put the blue there. Let's toss in the pink. Nope, no pink, but I did guess right on the green. That's nice. Now let's toss in the white. Nope, no white. Well, here we go. I'm just going to do green and blue, and there's only two spots and there's only two colors, so I'll put them in. It'll either be the correct thing or I'll have to flip them. And I'll have to flip them. There goes some pooches. That would make another good show and tell. I should probably do something with pictures of the pooches or something. I mean, they're not really my dogs, but, like I think I've told you guys before, I'm like the only adult that really gets, well, we're all adults now. The youngest of us is over 21 now, so that's my youngest nephew, Tommy. But yeah, nobody else gets on the floor and plays with the dog but me, really. Dogs but me, so. Thanks, Squishy Plushy Bear. Yeah, I've been playing this for a long time, so. I would love to see one of your comic books, Javon. And if you want it to go public, man, let me know. Like I was telling Dylan, I will happily, if you guys have a project that you want me to promote, I can amplify it. I'll say, hey, here's a friend of mine doing this thing. Please check it out. I mean, if you come to me with something that, that looks like you're trying to spread evil or something, obviously I won't participate in that. But, if you're doing something that's cool and groovy and you're trying to, be a good human being, then I will absolutely amplify it, man. I mean, art, religion, all these things, if it's humans trying to make a better world for other humans, then man, yeah. That's what we should be doing, right? I mean, I suppose it seems overly simple, but the world doesn't have to be a crappy place for anybody, really. I mean, I have no illusions that we're going to have some weird magical utopia or any such thing like that, but like there's no reason for humans to not have access to potable water or food or shelter or medical care or any of these things. I mean, the basic stuff, there are plenty of resources for all of those things, and we know how to do it logistically. So it's, we just lack the political will and, well, the courage and compassion. It's just a little disappointing, but, Okay, so now which one did I guess right on? Well, we know the green for sure. So is it this one that's right? No, it's not going to be, is it? It's going to be this. It's going to be this, and it's going to be this, isn't it? Yep, okay. Yeah, spreading evil is out, man. Sorry, MSE. You know, you're going to have to bring me stuff from your kinder nature. How much time have I got here? Okay, yeah. And we'll try the blue. Put the blue there. Let's throw in the yellow. Okay, again, man, I like it when you get that pattern like that. Just because it makes deducing easier. Oh, wow, that was a nice one. Let's try the left-hand one first, just because, why not? It's kind of my habit, isn't it? What do you know? Here we are. What if it's really interesting evil? Interesting how, and can it be contained? Because there's the thing about evil, right? Is it's, you know, it's not always clearly defined what makes something evil. Although I think there's a lot of things that most of us can agree upon as far as when you categorize something as evil. Like, I'm pretty sure most of us would agree that murdering somebody is evil, you know? Let's try that one. And let's stick in the pink. Nope, not the pink, but which one is correct, yeah? I'll say that I guessed the green one right, and we'll move the blue one over, and we'll throw in the white. Okay, I guessed right. All right, so which white? Again, I'll say the left-hand one. And let's toss in the black one. Nope, but we know it's in there. We just have to switch it around with the white. And voila, we will be done. Oops, there we go. Voila, there we go. Why are you making the sad face, Javon? A lot of people. Wait, did I miss something? We could hold the world hostage for $1 million. You know, the sad thing is think back, man, you know, when we were much younger, MSC, $1 million was a lot more impressive than it is nowadays, isn't it? I mean, you know what I mean? Let's try the yellow. All right, let's say that the yellow was right. Let's move. Well, it has to be the case that one of the yellow was right, but I just choose which one I pick. But okay, nice guess. Got the red, got the yellow. There's no green. Let's toss in pink. Okay, one of the pinks. I will try the left-hand one first. And let's toss in the white. Nope, but we know we just flip the white with the pink. And voila. There we go. And okay, it's almost time for another break, so I will come out of here like this. And this one's going to be an ad break, gang, so do the muting and all that kind of stuff. Is it okay to download my videos to MP3s? I don't really have a problem with that. I think there's applications that let you do that. I mean, I put them up for free. You know, I mean, I know YouTube probably doesn't like you doing that because then you don't watch the ads. You know, I'm sure most of you understand that I'm, like, part of the reason I don't do anything more than $1 a month tip jar thing on my Patreon is I don't want to put things behind a paywall. You know what I mean? My point is to make creative whatever, whether it's ASMR or music or something, and put it out into the world so the world can have something that's groovy. You know what I mean? And, you know, at least I think it's groovy, and if people dig it, then yay. You know, and I think we just need to be more clever as how we try to help creative individuals do groovy things. But, you know, anyway, I'm going to take a break, gang, and this is an ad break, so prepare yourselves for the horrible, corporations trying to sell you things. Okay, I'm back, and here we go. Let's see if I got any comments. Oh, Dr. Evil. I haven't seen any of those. What is that? I can't think of that. Even it's Austin Powers. Is that it? I never saw any of the Austin Power movies. I'm not a big fan of the Mike Myers guy. Like I was, I don't know. I didn't enjoy Wayne's World as much as so many other people did. So yeah, Alani. Alright, so let's see. I should do a trigger, shouldn't I? So which trigger should we do? You know what I'm gonna do? I don't know. How about maybe some crinkling? I mean, I have the brushes, but I kind of feel like I just did that whole big brush video, so people probably aren't all that. They think they probably have enough brushing for the moment. So how about we do a little bit of crinkling for a little bit? Big old bag of crinkly stuff. So let's start with what? Let's start with a italicized plastic snack bar wrapper. How about that? What do I think of Fritz the Cat? Oh, you mean that cartoon from way back in the day? Man, I thought it was pretty funny. I haven't seen it in a long time, so I can't really remember it, to be honest, any details of it. I remember thinking it was funny. I don't know. I'd have to see it to see if I still think it's funny. That's the thing about humor. Sometimes stuff just doesn't hold up for me. Or it just doesn't land as well. Like, for example, as an adult, I don't really enjoy Blazing Saddles as much as I did when I was younger. You know what I mean? However, I still enjoy, thinking about Mel Brooks, I still enjoy, and Gene Wilder as well, Young Frankenstein. I think Young Frankenstein is genius. But yeah, I mean, when I was a kid, my dad took me to see Blazing Saddles, and I really, really thought it was funny. And, all the way into my early adulthood, probably till about 20 or something like that. And I didn't see it for a long time ever again. And then I did it again somewhere, and I just went, yeah, I don't know, it just doesn't. I think it was bad or horrible or whatever. I just was like, Yeah, that is curious, isn't it? About that, I think you're right, MSE. Yeah. It's a similar thing like in musical timbre of stuff. Like, we like a lot of stuff that, gets all, choppy as far as when you look at the waveforms, right? Like fuzz pedals and stuff like that, you know what I mean? But sometimes stuff, it's like there's this weird line that it crosses and it becomes harsh and unpleasant, you know what I mean? And it's a strange. There's also a weird thing about like sometimes, you know, what's ASMR for some people is not ASMR for others, right? Like I don't really like eating videos. Like when people eat stuff, I don't enjoy that at all. I'm okay with mouth sounds that are the result of somebody talking, but I don't like I don't like mouth sounds from eating, you know? I don't know. It just doesn't, it kind of just puts me off. So it's a similar thing, isn't it, right? You know, I mean, where's the line in that? I mean, as far as like, how do you move it when you're just seeing it from an audio standpoint? Their wolf, their castle? I don't get it. Yeah, Vex, yeah. Set this aside. I guess I'll just put it over there. I will pick it all up after the stream is over. What else shall I pull out of that big old bag of crinkly stuff? You know, I want to get at some of the pouchy things. In particular, I want to get that one that's got the paper. I think I need a better way of storing this stuff rather than just stuffing it all under the bed. Although maybe not. Maybe the onslaught of the crinkling of taking everything out is in itself a fun thing. I don't know. But I like this one. It has that double layer thing, right? It has the bubble wrap inside, right? And there's the paper on the outside, so it has the... It's extra crinkly, man. Oh, Dylan, I didn't see your comment about having too many irons in the fire. Well, man, you know, I do that too. So I can empathize with that. And I wish I had some advice for you on that one. And I suppose the thing is to just, I don't know, figure out a way of prioritizing. That's my thing, is I'm trying to figure out ways of prioritizing the things that I think will successfully work for, you know, the way I want to live my life, right? Not that I succeed all that often, but... You know. You know, I haven't been watching how many people have we been having today. It seems like we're having a pretty big crowd tonight. And Wow, 52. Nice. That's pretty good for, you know, my typical. All right, yeah. I see what you mean, squishy, fleshy there, right? Yeah, I'm working on music right now, John. I just have to, I don't know. Part of the thing is on the music channel stuff, because I actually have a couple of pieces of music. Well, there's one like that I put up right recently that was how much. It's not the how much. That's one that I did for on this channel, but my music channel is called 3 Monks in a Tub. There's usually a link to it in the description of my videos. But it's been fairly inert for a while. But I have my problem is with the music stuff is, well, A, getting it into something that I actually am happy with. I've just been too persnickety, and I know I need to work on that. That's my own weird self-criticism stuff going on that I need to work through. Right on, Mason. But the other thing is that I've been having trouble coming up with ideas for the video aspect of it, you know? Like, I'm pretty pleased with the video I made for Tempest Dance. But I just haven't been able to bring anything forward that I thought would be, you know, so I don't know, that's kind of part of the two hang-ups. Yeah, you're right, Mason. That's kind of the thing. Ooh, man, it's amazing when I look over at the audio meters for OBS, and sometimes these crinkle noises, they'll clip out, totally slam. But I know it's going to be the transient thing, isn't it? Okay, that's enough of this one. What else should I do? You know, I haven't been doing much of the doing this over there where I whisper over here kind of thing, have I? Let me try it a little bit, maybe. Here's a nice long tube. So this is a tube of bubble wrap. Can I get my arm in it? Not quite. Yeah, not quite. I can get my forearm in it. Yeah, I get the top of your lungs. Now, you know, being a Gen Xer, you know, I gotta do the old school thing, man. So I'm gonna do a little bit of close-up whispering over here while I do some crinkling over there. A little bit of close-up whispering over here while I do some crinkling over there. Do some close-up whispering over there. Excuse me, whispering over here, crinkling over there. I guess I need to take this off this arm and get it past my elbow though. So now, oops. Hey, the real audience, how's it going? We just woke up. So I'm going to do a little bit of close-up whispering over here. Crinkle over there. Do some close-up whispering over here while I crinkle over there. Do some close-up whispering over here while I crinkle over there. Well, time to get up and at 'em. 6 in the morning, yeah. You know, I can rub my fingers across the chalkboard and it doesn't do anything for me. My maternal grandmother had a chalkboard in her home in this sort of recreation room. It's like she kept a piano in there. When I was a kid, my grandfather had a pool table in there. And I think the people that they bought the house from, I think the woman had been a school teacher and she had a chalkboard in that room. Anyway, I used to delight in going into the room and like doing that with, like, you know, my whole hand is just going across the chalkboard because it would drive everybody else nuts, and it didn't bother me at all. I forgot I was going to do some whispering over here. So whisper, 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 whisper. While I crinkle, 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 crinkle. Whisper, 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 whisper. Crinkle, 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 crinkle. Whisper, 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 whisper. Crinkle, 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 crinkle. Whisper, 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 whisper. Crinkle, 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 crinkle. What else? What do we do from the crinkle bag? What I'm going to do is I'm going to take everything out of the crinkle bag because there's only a couple minutes left in this segment. And I think I'll switch to a different trigger in the next segment. So I want to use it because I really like this one. Man, it's crazy. You know, I wonder, man, I don't know what the mechanism is that causes that finger on the chalkboard thing to go, man. But well, yeah, that's the idea. I think, was it Rob was the one that dubbed it the evil timer? And I decided to put it in the ladle. So, you know, the one is the break timer and the other one is for the whole show, right? Well, it should be pretty obvious which ones are what, but... Just imagining it. Well, have a nice night, Gulf Coast, man. Sweet dreams. Can time be real? Maybe not time itself, but our use of it. I don't know. I mean, I suppose you could argue that there's an evil nature to time and the fact that it passes it all, right? 'Cause, you know, You're welcome, Gold Coast. Oops, there are the pooches. Back to here. Okay, I am back now. Yeah, you're absolutely right, MSC. But yet, so is the definition of evil, right? I mean, that's kind of the idea, yeah? Everything is context, man. Right, yeah, I mean, that's fine. I mean, here's the thing, right? Philosophy, science, religion, all these things, it's just humans trying to describe their universe, isn't it? You know what I mean? So if whatever model works for you in the moment, use that model, right? You know, like, for example, like if there's certain things that aren't described well by Newtonian mechanics. It's my understanding that they didn't really have a good idea of how to describe Mercury's thing going on with its orbit until relativity, right? Because the Newtonian mechanics just didn't seem to deal with it very well. But that, in a lot of ways, you don't want to abandon Newtonian mechanics, because for a lot of things, like, you don't need the extra terms mathematically. You know what I mean? Because depending on to what degree of accuracy do you need something, right? It could be that just the basic quadratic equations, as it were, that come out of Newtonian mechanics are sufficient for describing the thing that you need to use, right? So you use whatever model that you have at your disposal that works for the moment, right? It's all contextual, right? So yeah, so is evil, right? I don't think there's such a thing as absolute good or evil or any of that. I think everything is contextual. I don't know. There's my point of view on that, though. What do I want to do now? I haven't been doing much tapping tonight, have I? So I'm going to use the good old chunk of wood, and I will tap. First, using the pads of my fingers. And I will whisper over here, and maybe a little low, soft speaking along with the whispering, while I use the pads of my fingers over there. Using the pads of my fingers to kind of steadily tap on the good old how's it going? Okay, now I will whisper over here while I tap over there. I will whisper over here while I tap over there. I will whisper over here while I tap over there. And maybe just a little soft speaking for change of pace. And I'll do it with my nails. And I will whisper over here while I tap over there. And I will whisper over here while I tap over there. And I will whisper over here while I tap over there. Whispering over here. Tap over there. Whisper over here. I tap over there. I'm going to switch again. Now I will whisper over here while I tap over there. I will whisper over here while I tap over there. One of the dogs was clearly excited about something. So I will whisper over here. I tap over there. I will whisper over here. I tap over there. I will whisper over here. While I tap over there. I will whisper over here. While I tap over there. I will whisper over here. While I tap over there. Okay, I'm going to switch to a different object now. I think I will tap on the back of the beard brush because that's quite a good sound. It's also wood, but it is a bit different. This one I don't like as much with my pads and my fingers, but I do like it with my nails. And I will whisper while I do that over there a little bit. while I do the tapping, I will do some soft speaking while I do some tapping. And I will also throw in some close-up whispering, getting very close to the microphone, whispering over here while I tap over there. I will be whispering over here while I am tapping over there. And I will be whispering over here while I am tapping over there. I'm whispering over there. Excuse me, I'm whispering over here while I'm tapping over there. Now I'm going to switch again. I will whisper over here while I tap over there. And I will whisper over here, getting very close to the mic and whispering while I'm tapping. And I'm whispering while I'm tapping. And I'm whispering as 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 I am tapping. And I will switch again. And I'm whispering while I am tapping. And I'm whispering while I am tapping. I'm whispering as I am tapping. I am whispering and I am tapping. Whispering while I'm tapping. I'm whispering while I'm tapping. And I'm whispering and soft speaking while I'm tapping. And I'm speaking and I'm tapping. Oh, I'm sorry you missed it, Rob. Well, welcome back nonetheless. Now we'll do some whispering. And now I will do some soft speaking. And I will do some whispering. And I will do some soft speaking. And I will switch. And I will do some whispering while I do some tapping. And I think I'm going to switch to the chopstick in the jar. VK Elfin, how's it going? Okay, let's put this aside. And let's see if I can get some good sounds out of my jar and chopstick. Okay, it's almost time for a break, and this one will be an ad break, gang, so mute your things, man. Mute your things. And I'll see you in just a couple of minutes. Okay, I am back. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the break timer because there's going to be no more breaks. And we've only got about 10 minutes left anyway. That's what I get for getting out of sync with the not watching the timers close enough, right? Well, at least you have a few minutes left for, Anyway, so what am I going to do for this last few minutes? I don't know, I suppose I could just babble about something if I had anything to babble about. Maybe a little drink of water. I should have done that during the break, shouldn't I have? You know, I don't. This isn't the same jar I normally do it with, but might try this. All right, Javon, I'll see you next week. Thanks for coming by, man. You know, in a weird way, I say thanks for coming by, because it kind of feels like you guys are just kind of coming by, you know what I mean? Because I'm just here. This is where this is where I live, and sort of is my kind of work, studio, space, whatever, right? You know, where I spend most of my time, right? And so it's like you guys are just dropping by, man. Timer's especially evil tonight. Any particular reason that it's especially evil tonight, Rob? Or are you just in a mood to have the typical Rob always wants more? Yeah, sometimes it does seem to go by really quick, huh? I suppose that's, a good sign in the sense that, it's an indication that, we had a good time, right? Yeah, most things are well. Thanks, Lego Day. Okay, what should we do now? You know what? I'm going to try tapping on the labradite. Labradite. Am I saying that right? I'm going to do that. I like it when it was making that kind of glass-like sound with this thing. I kind of like that. Hey, Cardi. Oh, is that a Groucho? See, you could have taken credit for that, man, and I wouldn't have known. Man, I used to watch those reruns of You Bet Your Life. That was a great show, man. Karl Marx's brother. Thanks, James. I hope to see you next time. The stream was good. Glad you came by. Well, you know, watch it on the replay. You'll be able to see. But yeah, it was a good stream. We had a good time. At least I had a good time. Seems like other people did too. Oh, there you can see that. There's one of the lights. I'm going to do some of that. I kind of like this noise with the... This is like a stylus, right? Bill. Max. Vox. Pax. I kind of like that sound. Wait, what is this? Your favorite garden path sentences? Oh man, probably clever is the one. I'm not sure I get the reference. Of course, it might be that it's just late and my brain is not working well. Let's do this again. I'm going to write hello. World. I know one thing I might do. I've been thinking about it. I just haven't decided. I don't know. I just haven't done it yet. But well, there's this. Well, you know what? I'm not going to worry about it. I have an idea of thing. I'll talk to you guys about it next week because it'll take me too long. Or longer than the 2 minutes. I don't know how much longer, how late I want to stay tonight. Put off until the day after tomorrow. Oh, I see what you mean. Okay. Thanks, RBS. You're just in time. Well, at least you came by. You know, thanks, Penny. I mean, you did say you had somewhere else to be, so that's okay. Oh, I get it. Well, sorry about that, Peyton. But, you know, you can watch the replay. I mean, I guess it's not the same because I can't really respond if you make comments, but Hey, Samuel. Yeah, just really early for next week. Right on. Okay, we're getting near the very end. So, does anybody have any last minute news or serious questions or anything like that? Thanks, Jared. Well, I hope to see you next week, Samuel. Okay, I think that's going to be it, gang. Thanks for coming by. I'm glad you guys came by. I hope you had a good time. I had a really good time. It was a good stream. Well, remember, Monday is Mind Test Monday. And what is Thursday? I don't remember what Thursday is off the top of my head. Oh, Thursday is Backgammon. Actually, it's already recorded. I just have to edit and post it, but it will get released on Thursday. I don't know, probably noon or something like that. I don't know. I'll just arbitrarily choose a time. What about unserious questions? Yeah, if you got a question. See you, Mason. Thanks for coming by. If I could relive your life from birth. Yeah, I would. Yeah, good night, Rob. Good one. That's a good one. That's a good one, Rob. Thanks, man. Yeah, well, I spent many years, Jeremy, being a screwed up blackout drunk. So yeah, I would do a lot of things differently. Should you put the jelly on the peanut butter or on the bread? Well, if I'm eating it open face, I put it on the peanut butter. But if I'm making a sandwich, I put it on the bread. Yeah, right. That's he's taking a page out of your book, Rob. Okay, guys, I gotta go. I gotta go and sit on my recliner for a bit and maybe listen to some music, find something to stare at on TV so I can get to bed soon. And maybe I'll just do some ASMR, man. You know what I mean? Okay, gang. Aloha, you guys, and I'll see you next week.